Hey guys, it is Sunday as I record this, and although I don't like to work a lot on Sunday, I had to come in today because I'm finishing an audit for a seller that is going to be briefed tomorrow. And this particular seller has got some declining sales. We're seeing this more and more in late 2022, early 2023 as I record this. And I don't think this is really the fault of that brand's agency. We are just in a new normal. And yes, brands can absolutely grow, but not if you're stuck in the strategies of 2020, 2021, 2022. We are in a new normal. And I think this year, what we're going to see is we're going to see a record number of brands fail, and we're going to see a record number of or a record amount of revenue and profits by other brands. The brands that grasp the things that are winning now are going to break away from the pack, and those that are still hanging on to hacks and quick wins and the things that worked in 2021 and even 2022 are going to fall away. They're going to burn away, and they're not going to make it through this year. So I want to give you a few things that we are 100% certain are winning right now on Amazon in 2023. Number one, conversion wins wars, particularly digital wars. Brands that convert the best tend to win. And what I mean by conversion is if 10 potential customers visit your page and 2 purchase, that's a conversion rate of 20%, 2 out of 10. If 3 purchase, that's a conversion rate of 30%. This is making all the difference for brands right now. We see this all the time. We'll do an audit. We see a brand that's converting at 30%. It just depends on the category in terms of what normal is, but we'll see a brand that's converting super well. They're the brands that are growing right now. Brands that are not converting, that have low conversion rates, they're contracting. Let me give you an example of how powerful this is and how it works. I'm going to do another video on conversion, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. If you sell a product for maybe $10 a piece, every sale gets you $10 per unit. And all of your cost of goods sold, maybe your fulfillment fees, your landed costs like freight and labor, they come to $5. $10, your costs are $5. That means you have another $5 in margin. Now, let's say your best converting keyword or your most important keyword for one reason or another cost you $1 per click. And out of 4 clicks, you get 1 sale. Click 1, no sale. Click 2, no sale. Click 3, no sale. Click 4, you get a sale. That means you spent $1, $2, $3, $4 in advertising to sell a $10 product. $10 minus $5 in other costs minus $4 in advertising leaves you a margin of 10%. Now, if you do nothing else, you don't change the way you advertise, you don't change anything else, but you increase your conversion, and now you're converting at maybe 30%, depending on the category, how strong your brand is, that could be reasonable. And let's say instead of converting at 25%, you go to 30% now, or 33%. It takes you 3 clicks to make a sale. Click 1, no sale. Click 2, no sale. Click 3, you get a sale. Now that leaves you $2. $10 selling price, $5 in other costs, $3 in advertising costs, $2 in margin. You've just doubled your margin by increasing your conversion. Now, that can be easier said than done, but conversion is one of the most powerful things that you can do to improve your Amazon selling, improve your bottom line. If I were to do that, every extra amount of margin that I've created through conversion, it can be reinvested, it can be taken out of the business, it can cover overhead, it can be rolled into a new product, whatever you want. But it does give you an advantage over your competitor who's still pressing the gas on only Amazon PPC. Now, how do I increase conversion? I'm going to do a whole video on that. And when we're talking about Amazon, it comes down to something very specific. Getting your unique quality or best benefits across to the customer. And you only have 3 ways to really do that in an Amazon listing. A super clear title, right? SEO comes behind sales copy. It comes behind clarity. Customers don't like to read, and so your title needs to be very clear and have your best benefits. Your photos, I understand a lot of brands are bootstrapping. This is not where you save costs. Your Amazon is an extremely visual platform, and we need to put everything that we can into those photos, infographics, etc. And then 3, video. Video is where a customer can't pick up your product off the shelf, so they have to see somebody else doing it. They have to know how big it is relative to somebody like them, how it works in use, what it looks like, etc. So you've got titles, you've got images, and you've got video. Those are the 3 things that can be improved. And I've seen very, very, very few listings over the years, thousands of listings. I've seen very few that can't be significantly improved by improving one of those 3 things. Number 2, second thing that marks a new reality of Amazon selling in 2023 is he or she who has the lowest cost of goods sold wins. He or she who has the lowest cost of goods sold wins. Now, it's not universally true. It is an idea. It's a little bit hyperbolic, but what I want to get across is it's the same idea as conversion. If I could go through that same example of that $10 product, and instead of minimizing ad cost, if I can minimize my cost of goods sold, that also frees up margin. And if you're thinking, I can't do that, I'm too small, keep looking, look harder. Because I have seen brands with crazy low cost of goods sold, 4 or 5% of the selling price, and there is nothing but margin after fulfillment fees. You can be imprecise, you can make mistakes in advertising, but if your cost of goods sold is extremely low, you are at an advantage over your competitor who doesn't have that efficiency. If you're a really big brand and you say, hey, my products cost what they cost, well, launch some just for Amazon. If you're a really big brand, you should have some brand power, some brand authority, and you should be able to launch new products. You should be able to go into product development and maybe branch out a little bit. Or you can take your advertising and you can grow your brand and focus it on the products where you have the best cost of goods sold and the most margin, and maybe back off of the products where you don't have a good cost of goods sold and you don't have good margin. But cost of goods sold will give you an incredible advantage over your competitors if you can beat them there. Number 3, off-platform traffic. This one is massive. It's massive. It's massive. Do not miss the opportunity to drive off-platform traffic. The Amazon algorithm absolutely loves it. This has been the case for a few years now, but it is extremely important now because everyone is running Amazon PPC. Congratulations, you're running Amazon PPC. You are not special. We are very good, I think, here in our agency at running Amazon PPC, at managing it. We do every kind of Amazon ad that exists, ad nauseum. We do tons of it. But the algorithm absolutely loves off-platform traffic. And when you're competing against maybe an agency like us, you're competing against a brand that's managed by an agency like us or an even bigger one, you are going to be up against a pretty steep cliff unless you do something different. And what I mean by off-platform traffic, email campaigns. Yes, keep focusing your email marketing to your Shopify account. I think every brand has to do that, but take a portion of your emails. Maybe it's a different list. If you have it developed, maybe you have to use your Shopify list and drive a little bit of traffic toward Amazon. Do the same thing with social media. For whatever reason, the Amazon algorithm loves TikTok, absolutely loves TikTok. Driving traffic with TikTok can give you an enormous algorithm boost on Amazon. I don't know exactly why that is, but we can speculate. Number 4, omnichannel, omnichannel, omnichannel. It is massively important. If you are a digitally native brand and you've made it, that's great. I wouldn't stay there. And I wouldn't just say, well, branch out and have a Shopify account. That's a no-brainer. That's a given. Your brand enthusiasts, your loyalists, they're going to want to shop on your Shopify or your BigCommerce account or whatever you use. But when you look at the rest of omnichannel, you look at whether brick and mortar or the lesser digital marketplaces like Target.com or HomeDepot.com or whatever you can get onto, they do you a massive amount of good on Amazon. There's an old saying, a rising tide raises all ships. And as a digital marketplace management agency, we manage all kinds of marketplaces. We're on, I think, 24 or brands that are on 24. We're working on 24 total right now, last count. But when we see a brand launch into brick and mortar, and they expect us, sometimes brands will say, hey, I've got to scale back my Amazon advertising because we're doing a big launch into Home Depot or CVS or whatever it is. I think a lot of times they expect me, sometimes they're almost apologetic and they're like, hey, we gotta meter this down a little bit because we have some other costs come in. I say, I am all for it. I am hugely pro launching in brick and mortar. I push our brands that are, we don't have a lot that aren't in brick and mortar now, but I push them very hard. I constantly beat that drum because what we see is when a brand is selling on Amazon and we don't do anything different, once they launch into brick and mortar, you see their growth curve grow. It goes up dramatically. That is very consistent. I've been in this game for I think 14 years now. I've never seen it any other way. Omnichannel, omnichannel, omnichannel. I realize we're talking about Amazon, but omnichannel will lift your Amazon sales. Customers will go and they'll find your product at, for the bigger brands, Walmart maybe, or even your local store, maybe an independent store. And when it runs out, they might just go to Amazon and buy it. More and more shoppers are kind of going back and forth between Amazon and other marketplaces, etc. Omnichannel. The last one I want to talk about is real estate, aka share of voice. This is extremely important. This is another trend we see. Brands that control share of voice for important keywords tend to be winning. Brands that just tried to rank at one point are not winning right now, if that's all they did. Now, let me explain share of voice for those of you that don't know what it is. Share of voice is, as I stated earlier, it's real estate. So if you look at a search for your most important keyword, let's say your most important keyword is shaving cream. If you enter shaving cream in and you see a bunch of search results come up on the Amazon search page, and let's say your product is ranked number 1. That's great, good job, but I wouldn't expect to stay there if it's the only place your brand shows up on that page. And the reason is you're not controlling a lot of real estate. Share of voice is more real estate. It's real estate on the margins, the sponsored video, the sponsored brand over top, other products that show up in other places in search, other configurations. You might have a one pack of something that shows up in the number 1 spot, but a variety pack that shows up in maybe the 6 or 7 spot. What that does is it gives you more touch, more visualization, I guess you might say. But if I'm a customer and it's not just big brands that win on Amazon, so I might know Nike, but I might not know your shoe brand. So when I search for my next pair of running shoes, it's going to help you to get traction when I see your brand everywhere, all over that real estate. When I see that you control the real estate with all kinds of different ads, I can see your video, I can click on it. Even if I don't purchase, you're basically running a commercial for me, and that brand that I didn't know a minute ago, the next time I search, assuming I don't buy, assuming I'm not compelled by your control of the real estate, the next time I come on, I'm going to remember your brand. Remarketing, that's another thing. I might not buy in this search, but there are ways on Amazon to remarket to where I see your brand later. I didn't buy it now. Now I'm doing a search for something else and I see your brand come up. Maybe I'm doing a search for food, your product is shoes, and I see your product come up on the margins because Amazon knows that at one point I was interested in your product. Share a voice. Own as much real estate as you can for important keywords. All right, guys, those are our 5 ways that Amazon has changed and things that you have to embrace in 2023 to win. Again, conversion wins digital wars. He or she who has the lowest cost of goods sold wins. Off-platform traffic, boost the algorithm. Omnichannel. I can't say that one enough. And then share of voice. All right, guys, please subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment. If there's a type of video you want to see, let me know. And if not, I will see you next time.